Alright, Tom's rant. Gotta let you read my shirt. You know, gotta harass some people. They get all excited. It's true. Hey Bones. Tom's rant. Global warming. Whether you believe in global warming or not, doesn't really make a difference. I know I'm zoomed out too far. There has been over thousands and thousands of years, there has been global warming. Alrighty. So anyway, there's been plenty, over the years, plenty of global warming, okay? So now you got a hurricane that hit Florida and everybody's like, oh my God, it's global warming. I never heard such bullshit in my life. One, yes, sorry Bones. Yeah, the planet is getting warmer. It has increased temperature globally. The temperature has gone up by a half a degree since the 70s. So yeah, we are talking extreme global warming. Now, did man hasten the global warming? We'll never know. There's no way of knowing that. Oh, you goofy people out there that are all about the global warming. One thing, a lot of you people out there that are all about the global warming, and we got to do something, we got to do this, we got to drive electric cars, we got to get rid of gas, we got to do all this shit. You're full of shit, okay? Let me ask you this. If you people out there that are whining about global warming, which is normal, okay? I'm going to read you some facts here. But anyway, do any of you people that are all caught up in this global warming thing, and you're like, well, I'm doing my part, okay? Are you doing your part? Okay? Are you buying sprays to make your house smell good? You know the chemicals in there? How much of that goes to the landfill? What about the fresh plug-ins that you plug in your wall to make the place stink? That's dumping chemicals. You're responsible for polluting the planet. Every time you plug one of those in, you're using electricity. The thing is pumping out chemicals in the air. That's why you can smell them. You're breathing in chemicals. Aren't chemicals bad for the environment? Yes, they are. Okay? Instead of buying polyester clothes, buy cotton. Polyester is bad. Plastics are bad. Everything is bad. But the point being is a lot of your air fresheners and crap like that people put in their cars and they plug them in their house to make the house smell. Why don't you just clean your house? There's a thought. Clean your fucking house. Then it won't stink. But putting all those chemicals, you're polluting, you're putting chemicals. I think all those air fresheners and plug-ins and all that crap there, I think it should be banned. Because it doesn't do anything but dump chemicals in the air. When they produce those things, it takes a lot of chemicals to produce that stuff. So, yeah, if you're caught up in you want to help the planet, don't be using all that stuff. You don't need all that fragrance. Why do you need fragrance in your laundry detergent? That's just another chemical that's going into the land, going into the treatment plants that goes out to the oceans. Here, I'm on a septic field. So I'm careful as to what I use. I don't use any kind of freaking weird shit like that. Okay? What I'm trying to do is I got some notes here. I probably should have paused it. Yeah, I probably should pause it. Because I'm not finding it. Alright, let me pause it. Okay. Back to this global warming bullshit. There'll be multiple facts in here. Now, going by the deadliest hurricanes, I'm not talking about the largest. Let's start with the deadliest hurricanes and then we'll go from there. Deadliest hurricanes, okay? Considering all this global warming bullshit. Okay, Leonard Nimoy narrated in the 70s, narrated a program, about climate change. And you should look it up and watch it. Anyway, according to Leonard Nimoy, well, he just reads the script, obviously. 1978, 79, it was right there when they did the whole global warming thing. And then they said if we didn't change, we're going to have an ice age. What happened to it? Now there's no ice age coming, but global warming is coming, so hurricanes are getting worse. Storms are getting worse. Okay, let me put this year here. This is the first hurricane that has hit Florida in quite some time. So you're saying, oh, global warming makes all these hurricanes worse. Well, that's another lie. Because it hasn't affected, you're all about, oh, the hurricanes are getting worse, the storms are getting worse, the tornadoes are getting worse, weather's just funky. No. All right? Hurricanes aren't getting any worse. Okay, top 10. Okay, we'll just go with the top 10. Okay. These are deadliest. These aren't the strongest. So keep that in mind. Top 10 deadliest hurricanes. Galveston, Texas, year of 1900. Okay? It's really before all this pollution shit everybody whines about. 8,000 people died. Lake Okeechobee in Florida. Okay, that one got hit 1928. 2,500 people killed. Katrina, everybody remembers Katrina. That was a nice one. Okay, now that's the first one that's really past all this pollution that everybody was whining about that's going to destroy the planet. That was in 2005, 1,200 people died. There's one that hit the West Coast. I can't even say the name of it. Chenier, Caminanda. 1893, way before the Industrial Revolution. 1,100 people died. One hit South Carolina and Georgia. 1893, 1,000 people to 2,000 people died. Another one hit Georgia and South Carolina. 1881, way before all this Industrial Revolution is killing the planet bullshit. 700 people. North Texas, Louisiana, I'm sorry. The one I said was LA, I meant Louisiana. 1957, okay. 400 people died. That was a category 4. Hit Texas. Great Labor Day hurricane, Florida Keys, 1935. Really before the heavy pollution. Louisiana, 1856. 400 people died in that one. Louisiana got hit with another one in 1856, 400 people. 1935, 400 people. Florida, Alabama, Mississippi got hit. 1926, 372 people died. Okay, that's your top 10. And out of those top 10, the one in 1957 and the one in 2005 basically were considered after the Industrial Revolution with all this pollution. Then why is it you had all those early 1900s and 1800s being so deadly, okay, if global warming is making the storms worse? That's all you hear on TV is all the fake news saying that the hurricane that just hit Florida, oh, global warming. It had nothing to do with it. This year here has been a dud as far as hurricanes. Look it up, people. There hasn't been any hurricanes this year. And everybody's like, more hurricanes, more deadlier. Which is bullshit because it hasn't happened. There's more I got to add to this. I'm going to have to pause it because I don't want to sit here on my phone and look like a complete idiot. I'll just look like a partial idiot. Iceman. Let me just give me a second. I'm going to see if I can find some notes here. Let's see if I got any notes here. I may have to, I may have to come back to it. Yeah, it was in 1978 is when Leonard Nimoy did the narration saying, if we don't change, there's an ice age coming, and there is no ice age. Now it's, oh, global warming. Make up your minds, people. All right, I'm going to have to look up the other, so I will have to piece this together. Okay, how about the top 10 hurricanes? NOAA. They have all this weather data, so you can easily find it. Hurricanes, freezing cycles. Okay, top 10 worst hurricanes to hit the U.S. The one I mentioned earlier, the Chenier Caminada hurricane, 1893. Global warming, uh-oh. Galveston hurricane, 1900. San Felipe hurricane hit Florida, 1928. The Great Labor Day, 1935. Hurricane Camille, 1969. Okay, now the one in 1969, you can say, okay, well, maybe global warming did help that one because you figure it was after the Industrial Revolution. Andrew, 1992. Katrina, 2005. Hurricane Sandy, 2012. Okay, so looking at the hurricanes, it has nothing to do with pollution. The hurricanes come and go. The hurricane seasons come and go. If it was a pollution problem or global warming problem, then why was a hurricane season non-existent this year? Please explain that to me. Okay. I got to look up. I got another sheet for the Ice Age, how that's gone through over the last few thousand years. So anyway, you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not saying global warming doesn't exist, because it does, because the planet is going through a normal warming period. And everybody whines. Well, you know, here's a fact for you. Pollution. Oh my God, we're destroying the planet through pollution. Well, if you idiots would bother to look up facts, you would notice something. The air in the United States of America, I'm not talking dust from dust storms and pollen and that, just pollution, man-made pollution. When I was in Denver, going to tech school in Denver, Denver was so bad, they advertised on the radio, they had a commercial when you'd fly into the airport there. Today in Denver, we have brown skies because the pollution just hung there. Okay, because the wind comes over the mountains, it does not dip down to Denver and carry off the pollution. So the pollution was just sitting there. And there was one time I went into the BX, came out of the BX, the sun was gone. Okay, you could look directly at the sun and barely see it because of the brown cloud, the pollution. When I was a youngin', I used to go down to the Detroit River. So anyway, we used to swim in the Detroit River. Foam, pollution, chemicals, it was all in there. That's way before they started cracking down on this shit. So the amount of pollution in the Detroit River was horrendous. We swam in it. We didn't give a shit. That area was always covered in pollution. The skies were never clear down in that area, or even between the, Detroit and Toledo. There was always a heavy layer of pollution in there. Not anymore, because they cut down on the pollution. So through regulations or whatever, the United States is actually cleaner than it used to be. And everybody still whines. You know who pollutes the most? China. They're building all kinds of coal power plants. We're cutting down on ours. Look at Europe. Look at Germany. Anyway, this is about global warming, not all the other goofy stuff. So anyway, that's just a few facts. I'm going to add more to this. All right, here's some more facts on global warming. Ice ages. Okay, ice ages obviously started 2.5 million years ago. I'm sorry. Anyways, up until about 11,500 years ago was the last, good ice age. Okay. During this time, the Earth's climate repeatedly changed between very cold periods and warm periods. Okay, there were at least 17 cycles between glacial and interglacial periods. Okay. The last glacial period began about 100,000 years ago and lasted until 25,000 years ago. And obviously today we are in a non-glacial period because it's warmer. Interglacial period is what they call it. So you go back. I was trying to find. I got a sheet in here somewhere. Anyway, so point being, there's been at least 17 cycles where the planet has frozen, thawed, frozen, thawed, frozen, thawed. So global warming, yes, it is an actual fact. Did mankind contribute to it? Possibly. But The planet is in no danger because all these doomsayers like AOC and them, oh, we only have 12 years, and that was a few years ago, so we're down to what, maybe 8 years until the planet dies? Bullshit. Okay? That's not going to happen. If the planet dies, it's going to be from a meteor hitting it, an asteroid hitting it and destroying it. We're not capable of destroying the planet, however much we pollute. And you go, oh, yes, we are. No, we're not. The planet was made up of rock and what have you, and it was very volcanic. There was volcanoes erupting all the time. The planet slowly cooled. Oceans formed from getting hit with meteors or asteroids or whatever that are rock and ice, hit the planet, and that's where the water came from. The planet slowly started cooling off. Land masses formed. Ice ages came. Ice ages went. Ice ages came, ice ages went. And the reason they're so accurate to the exact dates, not exact dates, but within a time period of the global warming and thawing period is because they drill down through miles, through the ice, and that ice captures how much dirt is in the air, how much chemicals are in the air, how much dust is in the air, because it captures air pockets inside the ice. And they could tell what the pollution level was. What was the pollution then? What was in the air? Was it a major when Pompeii was destroyed by that massive volcano? Okay, that cooled the planet. Pollution was everywhere. I mean, it was bad. So when they drill down, they find volcanic dust over certain periods, and that's how they can track this stuff. When you look at the side of a cliff, and you see different colors of rock, dirt, or whatever, those were deposited there, different levels. If the planet was flooded, then you have an area of the planet digging down in the soil that would be from floods. So anyway, yeah, got way off track here. Sorry about that. I'm going to correct some of this. Okay. You know, all the global warming morons are out there. Oh, look, more storms. Ooh, worst case scenario, worst storms. The hurricane that's hitting Florida right now. The majority of the newscasters are playing it up like global warming has caused more storms like this, more damage. Flat out lie. Okay, if the fact checkers check the facts, you will find since 1900, okay, when they started keeping track, well, they kept track before that, but anyway, since 1900, hurricanes have dropped, become less and less. Since 1900, they've been going, hurricane season has been going down. Look at this year's hurricane season. Where was it? This is the first hurricane of the season, and the season's over with, just about. So this storm that hit Florida has nothing to do with global warming. Nothing. YouTube can put a correction down underneath this saying, oh, for facts, check here. Fact is, hurricanes are on a decline since 1900. This is the shortest hurricane season in the last decade. A lot of you don't know that. So anyway, this whole global warming crap, is the planet getting warmer? Absolutely. You know, it's gone up a half a degree, somewhere between a half and 1 degree since, 1970s. Noisy clock, right? Anyway, this is going to be pieced together. I wanted to touch on the hurricane here in Florida, how they're blowing it out of proportion. But it has nothing to do with global warming. I've already did a list of the top 10 deadliest hurricanes and what have you. So anyway, there you go.